everybody. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining. I do appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. It's your girl Philly Phil. Thank y'all for joining me. Okay. Um, we're gonna go ahead and get right into this because I know it has gotten late and some of us have to go to work tomorrow. Hello, Miss Lorraine. I do want to speak to everybody real quick. Josh, Miss Annie, Kizzy, thank y'all for stopping by. We're gonna start off, guys, with hello, Miss Luana. And I did get Miss Foley's approval to do this. I want to do a quick reaction to a reaction from something on my channel, a reaction to this right here. Okay. So we're going to do a quick reaction to this right here, guys. Queen, everybody, how y'all doing? Y'all know we getting justice for Carlether over here. Carlether lost her life in 2021. You know, someone was cleaning, playing with the gun, whatever. It went through the wall. The bedrooms were right next to each other. Walls are thin in the apartment complexes. They are. And you can hear what people are doing. You can hear what people are doing if they're rehearsing for a Black Panther movie or a Black Panther play. You can hear whatever's going on. You can hear it. So you can hear words that are being said. And people, don't always have the same thought processes or however you want to put it. They don't always agree on things. All right. So you just never know what people would do or how they would react. All right. I'm just going to say that. And, there's some things that, there's a lot other things that I'm just not going to talk about that I know that Miss Foley has shared with me that I'm just not going to go into. Hello, Patricia. How you doing? Thank y'all again for being here. But we're going to review a part of, and let me go ahead and put this up. Let me put this banner up, okay? We are reviewing this copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, and scholarship and research. And that's what we're about to do. We're about to get some understanding over here, okay? All right, we're going to react to another channel's a portion of his video, The Truth number 5. And you guys are welcome to go over there and check out his full video. I'm using a portion of I'm using some audio. I'm doing it on my main channel, the channel that I help families on and an advocate for. I don't want to get struck, but I'm gonna take a chance because it'll be worth it if I do. All right. But I will fight it. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to this. He was reacting to this right here that I posted on my community tab because, as you guys know, we have all been trying to get an attorney involved in this. Ben Crump, we really want Ben Crump, but we'll take. Look, we need some help, and if you don't ask, you won't get. We want justice for Carlether. That is the ultimate goal. She lost her life. The man woke up the next day, went to work, and then headed off to a wedding, a party, whatever, and never called the police. Something's wrong here, people. Something's wrong. Something's very, very wrong. All right? If it were you, what would you do? That's what I want to know. What would you do? All right. Well, before I put that up, I'm going to put that up. What I'm going to have this up. All right, let's go.
I thank each and every one of you to spend this little time with me. I always appreciate it. You don't have to be here, and you come. So thank you. Thank you, as always. With that being said, make sure you thank my producer for putting those Mary J hits together for you, because nothing compares to Mary J, my all-time favorite. So let's get started, shall we? First and foremost, I must go up here and turn on my phone lines.
And I should have skipped a little bit, but I didn't want to miss anything.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, I don't want to hear no
all
music.
right. Phone lines are active.
Oops, I don't want to hear no
I
music.
don't know when my co-host will be strolling along, but it should be shortly, I hope. I see you, Rosie. Thank you, Rosie. I appreciate you, Rosie. Now, I added something. I was just going to only talk about the Dwayne Wade situation, but I added something because it was brought to my attention right after I made the promo. And it's the ignorance for me. Truly, the ignorance for me. And what I mean by ignorance, oh, my co-host here. Everyone, make sure you give a round of applause for my co-host.
Hey, Steve. Hey, everybody.
Oh, I was just telling her about the ignorance of it all. And what I mean by ignorance is Billy Phil has said the most ignorant thing I have heard in a long time. And what I mean about ignorant is you can't just say these things. You can't just throw these things out there because, and I'm just going to be honest here. When you throw these things out there and they do not fit the situation that you're crying about, it hurts everyone else.
We want justice for Carlether, who lost her life in 2021. Her mother wants justice for her daughter. Okay?
It diminishes the words. And what I'm trying to get at is let me pull this up. This is I guess a text message to a law firm by Philly Phil. And I guess she's shopping around hoping that a law firm will listen to what she has to say. So she's advocating.
Yes, we definitely want a law firm to come in and assist us and help us. Why wouldn't we? We want justice. Someone lost their life. The mother wants justice. And there's nothing wrong with that.
For Jackie Foley. But when you advocate with ignorance like this, nobody's going to listen to you. Am I right or wrong, Liz?
You're right.
Liz, you hesitated. You're a mother. You're a woman. What would you do?
So let me read this to you. I just wait for my thing to get off the screen, and then I'm gonna read it to you. So it says, "This is Victor Lopez from Knowles Law Firm. How can I help you?" And Philly Phil goes on to write, "Hello, Mr. Lopez. I have a YouTube talk show, and a mother, Jackie Foley, reached out to me for help in getting justice for her daughter who was killed in her sleep. Victim, Carlether Foley. It happened in Jesuit County, Georgia. Maxwell.
Gwinnett County, Georgia. Gwinnett County, Duluth. Gwinnett County is where it happened at, sir.
Williamson has been arraigned, but no court date. Crime happened in September of 2021. Sir, we believe it to be a hate crime." Would you like to go first, Liz, on why this isn't a hate crime?
You hesitated a long time, Liz, because what you really want to say is, how do we know it isn't? Because you don't know what happened. You guys don't know everything. And we need some professional help in here. We need an attorney to pick this case up. He should have a court date. It didn't take Tim long to get a court date. It took a while for the date to come, but it didn't take long for one to be set.
I don't think it's a hate crime
Liz.
because I don't think he targeted her out for her race.
Okay, now they're neighbors. She had been living there several years. Okay, next door neighbors. Their bedrooms were adjacent to each other, wall to wall. Okay, and when this happened, he did not call the police. She was a young activist. You can go to her Facebook and her Twitter, her TikTok accounts and check it out. She was rehearsing for the Black Panther play. I'm just saying.
Number one. Number two, it's really going to be hard to prove in a court of law that it is a hate crime. I mean, not unless they had history. Now, I can't speak on the case. Now, the couple channels that I saw.
Key point. We don't know. They were neighbors. You don't know everything. You don't know everything.
It's more so this person was irresponsible and he was just a dick for cleaning his gun.
So,
But I don't see that it was a hate crime. I don't see that he just said, "Oh, I'm a killer because she's black."
Let me refresh everyone's memory. So I'll refresh everybody's memory. So in September of 2021, a next door neighbor was cleaning his gun. The gun went off. The bullet traveled through the wall, through her headboard, and struck the young lady in the head. Tragic. Tragic. Nobody's saying it's not tragic. It is tragic. Should he be charged? Yes, he should be charged for manslaughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Manslaughter.
You're right. It traveled. Wouldn't you think somebody would want to call 911 if your bullet just went through a wall? I mean, come on, somebody. Help me to understand, because I'm calling 911. My gun just went off. It went through the wall. Make sure my neighbors are okay. Liz, I'm going to need you to put your thinking cap on, please.
Not a hate crime.
Not a hate crime. First off, how did that young man shoot one bullet through a wall and strike that young lady in the head? Just one bullet. It's virtually impossible.
Not impossible, because it happened. And there's a lot of things you can use to figure that out. And you know it.
He was careless.
I don't see.
He was ridiculous. He's a young, stupid kid.
She was a young, innocent mother with a teenage son who had her whole life ahead of her, an aspiring actress doing very well. And she lost it all because someone decided to play with their gun and not call 911. Who knows? She could have been saved.
Is it a tragic accident? Yes. Should he be charged with a crime? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it a hate crime? No.
No.
How do you know that, ma'am, sir, Lee? How do you know that? I mean, how do we know? You don't know everything. See, you don't know everything. That's why we need a court date and we need to go to trial and let all of the evidence be put forth and let the jury decide.
So let me tell you what the law defines as a hate crime. Okay? So the law defines a hate crime. A hate crime is a crime motivated by bias against race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. So Billy Phil is trying to say that this man chose that woman, and at that particular time, he fired a bullet through a wall and struck her in the head.
Well, isn't that what happened, sir? And did he not call the police? Why didn't he call 911? Is all I want to know.
And this would have to be a crime of what? It's definitely not a hate crime.
No.
He didn't single her out for any of those reasons.
But how do you know this, sir? How do you know this? You don't know everything. You do not know everything. And we want justice for Carlether. This mother wants justice for her daughter and her grandson. And we will not yield.
He had no clue that it had happened to begin with. Was he irresponsible in not checking his?
He knew his bullet went through a wall and he did not call 911. Who does that?
Neighbor? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was he irresponsible in not following through and at least checking up on her? Yes.
Hell yes.
Did he believe in a million years? Hey, Miss T, did he believe in a million years? I'm sorry, Selena, thank you for coming. Rashid, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Virginia, didn't see you. So a freak accident, but yet you're turning it into a hate crime.
I don't believe this was a freak accident because 911 should have been called, first of all, if it was a freak accident right away. Anybody with a brain would agree with that.
No.
You're calling for Ben Crump to get on the case.
And won't stop till we get him. Can't stop, won't stop. Justice for Carlether. We need Ben Crump ASAP. And Miss Foley will have her press conference one day.
Ben Crump ain't gonna touch this.
This has there's no one to sue. Who are you going to sue? A 22-year-old boy that lived in the apartment next door? No,
you're right. There is nobody to sue. Who are they going to sue?
they can't sue.
We want justice. Nobody's looking for money. We want justice. We want justice. Ben Crump doesn't have to be looking for money. He could simply want this mother to have justice. It's not always about the money. We want justice. We want a court date. We want to know why he didn't call 911. Why were you cleaning your gun in the middle of the night and it went through the wall and you didn't call 911? Allegedly, you left a note.
The police
The
department.
police department? Well, what are they going to sue? What grounds, though?
I don't know. But to call it a hate crime and to get people to call Ben Crump's office to call the other lawyer's office. She's getting him all riled up. Please come with me.
If we don't ask them, how will we get them? If we don't speak up, if the people had never spoken up in the 60s, where would we be, sir? You can't be silent. Sometimes if you fall for it, you have to speak up. You have to stand up. And when you speak up, you just really need to be speaking about something that's relevant and not just be talking out of ignorance.
Because this isn't the first time that we've heard about this. Essie Berry spoke the same words. This is a hate crime. No, it's not.
How do you know? What's your proof? Where's your proof that it isn't? Where's your proof that it isn't, sir? Respectful. Where's your proof that it isn't? We want justice for Carlether. Justice for Carlether. And we're calling on Ben Crump to step in and assist us. And yes, we're asking people to call Gwinnett County and ask them when will they give us a court date for Maxwell Williamson. Yes, we are. Please put the number in the chat, someone.
It's an accidental.
So when was she killed? When was she killed?
September.
What year?
Of 2021. Arrested in the same, that 2 days later he had been arrested for the crime. It wasn't like they didn't arrest him. They arrested him. But if you let Philly Phil say it, he was loose on the streets by himself. Hey, babe.
See, come on, don't do that. This is a serious matter, sir. This is a serious matter. He was given a bond and released, and until Miss Foley reached out to me and we got involved in it, they were doing nothing. He was just out on, just roaming the streets, as you put it. Okay, roaming the streets, and that is a fact. I don't care what you say. I take credit for that, along with everyone that called and emailed.
Mama, I see you. He was loose on the streets. No one cared. They were letting him go. No, he had been charged with it. He posted bond. Then they took it to the grand jury. The grand jury also believed that he should have been charged.
So he was indicted by the grand jury. He just hasn't went to trial yet.
And we want a trial date, Miss Liz. We want a trial date. Come on, that was last year when they arraigned him. We want a date set for his trial. This man deserves his day in court. He deserves his day in court. Look at her. He deserves his day in court, and we need answers. Now,
they have not set a trial date. Remember, there's a lot of plea bargaining going on. There's a lot of things that they're going there. There's a lot of things that are going.
How do you know that, sir? How do you know? How do you know what they're doing? How do you know? How do you know? I'm just asking. If you know something that we don't know, enlighten us.
Into the motions of trying to set a deal.
But yeah. Which he very could well cop a deal.
And he could serve maybe 5 years. Maybe.
Maybe 10. He could cop a deal for 10 and do 5.
But to call
depending on if he's ever been in trouble.
To call it a hate crime is just irresponsible. You know what? Stop giving Jackie Foley this false hope. Stop pumping her up to yell and scream and then go around.
First of all, Miss Foley, it isn't yelling and screaming. But if she wanted to, she lost her daughter. She could scream to the high heavens. Who should care if she yells and screams? She lost her daughter. And no one has been held accountable for it, sir. Liz, do you have children?
Do her YouTube tours. Justice is being served. They've arrested him. He will go to trial. He will see a courtroom, and he will be found guilty of manslaughter, because that's exactly what it is. An accidental discharge of your weapon, which a homicide occurs is manslaughter. He wasn't angry at her. There was no possible way he could have figured out where she was in that apartment. Just stop it.
Sir, their bedrooms were right next to each other. And anyone that's ever lived in an apartment, and I have, you can hear everything through those walls, and you know it. And you know it. And you do not know everything, sir. Respectfully, you do not know everything.
Well, I think in Miss Foley's case, some hope is better than no hope at all.
Thank you, Miss Liz.
Again, I understand, but if you're getting justice, what else do you want?
We don't have justice, sir. He has not been to. We do not have justice yet. We do not have justice. So that's an incorrect statement.
Huh.
I think she's.
Come on, Liz. Don't
Do
be.
they even have an? Well, I don't know. I can't speak on that because I couldn't.
You could never understand. Say it. You want to say that, but you don't want to offend him. I know what you want to say.
In that situation, you can't.
To me,
You could
it's
never
like,
understand. I don't understand.
If Philly Phil is trying to gain viewership off this and acting like
I am not trying to gain no views. I wish everybody and their mama would start talking about this case. I truly do. I wish I would pick up some speed because then maybe people would see that it is getting some views and people would start talking about it if they saw that it was getting more views. I surely do. I wish people would start talking about it. Justice for Carlether, making videos. I wish that when I went live that I would get 2,000 people in here talking about this like I did with Tim Norman, and then bam, bam, everybody, hey, let's talk about it. Let's make more videos. Yes, I truly do wish that. The more the merrier. Justice for Carlether. Everybody join in, please. If you have a channel, let's talk about it. Sometimes it's not always about the views. It's not. It's not. It's about justice. Okay?
helping someone. Well, help them correctly.
I can't.
Help them by seeing that this isn't a hate crime and that keep pushing for the manslaughter charges to go through. Keep pushing that he gets the maximum sentence allowed in that state. That's what you do. You don't make up shit like a hate crime.
First of all, sir, no one's making up anything. No one is making up anything. You do not know all of the evidence that they have. You do not know. You don't know the history. You don't know everything. You don't. I know you think you know everything, but you truly don't.
You don't sit up here and make believe that this is a hate crime, that they're throwing around that he should go to prison for life. Prison for life. Let me tell you something. I will stand on the other side of the wall.
I'm gonna say I don't recall. I mean, I do not recall us saying that over here. We've just been saying justice for Carlether and to get a court date. If you have that recorded somewhere where I said that, then I will own it and stand up to it. But I do not recall saying that, sir.
Oh, and you could shoot at me through the other side of the wall, and I'll bet you won't hit me. You only get one.
How do you know the bullet won't hit you, sir? Especially if someone knows if they can hit. You know what? I hope that never happens to you. I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, even if you took it before a jury trial, they would. I don't think a jury would. They would convict him on maybe reckless homicide.
Yeah, but they don't. I don't think they have that in Georgia. They don't have third degree homicide or murder. They have first, second,
that's what's homicide, manslaughter.
manslaughter.
Well, you two appear to know so much about justice and the court systems. Enlighten us. What else do we need to do? What are we doing wrong? We just want justice for Carlether. If it's right and it'll help us, we don't care where it comes from.
That's what they're gonna give them. But you're on YouTube making a fool out of yourself, PP. Billy Phil, you stopped by the other day. Stop by now. I'll tell you exactly what.
Well, I'm here, and I don't think I'm making a fool out of myself asking for justice for Carlether. This mother wants justice for her daughter. Jackie Foley wants justice for her daughter. And you don't, and this isn't about views. It's 101 people in here. I don't care if I only get two. Just watch the video. And if you're a content creator, make a video. Make a video about it. Okay? Join us. We need all the help we can get. Call Gwinnett County. Say we need a court day set for Maxwell Williamson. He needs to have his day in court. He deserves it.
What you're doing wrong and why you're wrong in every means. I would expect a mother to act this way because she's upset of the situation. But you're a girl.
Upset? Try distraught. Try heartbroken. Try. There's no words to explain.
Own woman. Exploiting the situation.
I'm exploiting the situation by trying to get justice for Carlether. If I'm exploiting this situation, put a 1 in the chat. If I'm not, put a 10 in the chat, because I am not exploiting this situation. We want justice. You know, I'm just going to come on here just every day. Justice for Carlether. We want people to talk about it. We want more people to talk about it. We want videos. We want Al, we'll take Al Sharpton. We want Ben Crump.
It's a tragic accident. Just like Cynthia just said, a tragic accident. Does he have to pay? Yes, he should pay.
Well, glad you agree on that.
Because as a gun owner, you are responsible for what you do.
Absolutely.
Well, grown woman, I understand if she is raising money for her grandson, and
this is not about money. Ain't nobody raising no money. Ain't nobody raising no money. There was a GoFundMe account. People, that has been long gone. They raised money. They went down there for his, I think it was for the 1-year anniversary of it. Nobody, you don't hear Miss Foley out here asking for money. She asking for justice for her daughter. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not right. She is not out here asking for no money. And you don't hear me getting on here hollering, hit the cash app when I'm doing this. I don't do that. I want justice. I truly want justice. And if she thought I was doing that, she would tell me, PP, don't you speak on my daughter ever again. And I would say, yes, ma'am, and move on. Nobody asking for no money. We asking for justice. We asking for a court date. We asking why you didn't call the police, Maxwell, when you put that bullet through the wall right next to playing. Why are you playing with your gun in the middle of the night? Why are you cleaning your gun in your bed? What was your wife? What was you doing? We want answers. And we will not yield. And we want Ben Crump. And I don't see nothing wrong with asking for Ben Crump. Period.
Whatever they want to do, that's fine. But calling for, a hate crime?
Well, here's where I disagree with that. Now, if you wanted Ben Crump, you should have got Ben Crump on this in the beginning. You can't wait.
We've been trying, Liz. We've been trying, Miss Liz. We've been trying. We've asked Roland Martin. We have been trying. So maybe we just need more people to help us. Maybe we need more people to ask. We've been trying, honey. We didn't just start this yesterday. We ain't new to it. We true to it over here. And we don't mind taking a little help. For everybody that's in here, 108 people, it's not a whole lot. If you have connections, we need the connections. We need the help.
To after the fact, because he's I don't. You should have got Ben Crump on this in the beginning.
We tried. We've been
But
trying.
Ben Crump would have told him exactly what I'm saying.
He's gonna tell you the exact same thing.
You know what? I gotta go cut this oven off. Hold on, guys. Chicken. All right. Now, what was he saying? I don't know. What was he saying? I just don't get it. I don't understand why there's not videos about this every day. Every day. A young woman in her sleep, in her bed, sleeping in her bed, a bullet comes through the wall, takes her life. Her young son finds her deceased. The man that did it goes to work like nothing happened. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
But then, who are you going to sue? Then you can ask the district attorney, why is it taking so long? But they'll come up with an answer to get you out of the face.
That's exactly what this should be all about. Why is it taking so long? Why has he not been to trial? But you know what?
Okay, we are doing that. We are doing that. Would anyone else like to join us in doing that?
I've seen cases like this take 3 and 4 years.
But Bill, look how long it took Tim Norman's case.
Just because it took all those years, it doesn't mean Miss Michelle Griggs called every day. And that's what we're going to do for Miss Jackie Foley.
You should be sitting back and complaining because justice has not started rolling yet. That's what you should be complaining about, not making up hate crimes, not claiming that this is a hate crime. Exactly. Not calling for lawyers to call this a hate crime.
Why wouldn't we want an attorney? Why wouldn't we want, if we could get Ben Crump, why wouldn't we want Ben Crump on this case? Why wouldn't we want Ben Crump on this case? Why wouldn't we?
That's irresponsible. And you know what's going to happen? If you keep saying things like this and you keep shouting and screaming and you keep telling the district attorney that you want this to be labeled a hate crime, he's going to stop listening to you.
You know it all, don't you?
He's just going to sit back and go, okay, I hear you. Okay. Because there's no possibility that you could make this a hate crime.
So you know everything about the case. You know everything that happened, right? We will get justice for Carlether. Watch. We will get justice for Carlether. With Ben Crump.
There's nothing that was done that day that makes this a hate crime.
How? Were you there? Were you there? Were you there and we don't know about it? How do you know? We don't know what happened. That's why we want answers. That's why we want him to have his day in court. How do you know what happened?
He would have to be the smartest thief or criminal in the world to figure out that she's laying right here. If I shoot right here, I can't be an inch up or an inch down, or I'm going to miss her. This guy has to be a trick shot master in order to hit her the way he did. But bullets have a funny way of doing freak things. Like I say, Billy Phil is not doing any justice for Jackie Foley.
Well, then let me see someone else do it better. By all means, take the reins. Whoever, take the reins. Just do something. It's not about doing it better. Just do something. Just do something. I don't have to be the only one out here talking about it. Just do something. Damn.
Done. By sitting up here and riling people up, say it's a hate crime, you're not doing anything for Jackie Foley but making a bunch of nonsense that people are going to stop looking at. So if anyone in the chat thinks is there's any possibility that this could be a hate crime, please call in. Enlighten me. Hey, yours truly. Thank you for coming.
No one called.
Enlighten me. Explain to me how this particular case, where a young man is in his apartment cleaning his gun, the gun goes off, one shot.
He doesn't call 911. He doesn't go over there and bang on the door and say, "Are you okay?" He just wakes up the next morning and goes about his merry little way. That right there is enough for the damn Department of Justice to pop in, if you ask me.
There was no other projectile found. There was no other bullet holes found in the walls. Just one shot. I don't care if he didn't like her. I don't care if he had malice in his heart for her. He's not going to shoot through the wall.
How do you know what this man is capable of? Do you know him? How do you know? How do you know, sir? We don't know. That's why we want answers. The mother and the son wants answers, and the rest of the family. You didn't talk to her that first night she called me.
And hit her. Just not going to happen. But Philly Phil has 35,000 subscribers, if not more now.
That's a lie. No, I don't. No, I don't. And there's 118 people in here. Okay. This isn't, hey, we would like to have that, but it's not about that. We want justice for Carlether. I do not have 35,000 subscribers. It's not about subscribers, sir. Okay. We want justice for Carlether. We truly do. We want justice for Miss Jackie Foley. The same way Miss Michelle Griggs got justice. And we never said it would happen overnight, but you have to keep fighting just the same way Miss Michelle did. Every day she called. She never yielded for her son, and Miss Jackie would never yield for her daughter.
Sweet Berry, I don't know. I can't figure out who's telling her it's a hate crime or how they even figure this to be a hate crime.
Well, Truth, a lot of times, if I'm thinking, and I'm just throwing this out there, I'm not quite sure, but maybe if you're not getting the answers you need from the DA, and the DA is just brushing you off, you know.
Come on, Miss Liz. You're starting to speak like you want to say it, but you letting him hold you back. You know this ain't right.
Maybe him and Miss Foley had issues in the past, and maybe
You don't, Miss Liz. We don't. You know what? Thank you. We don't know what those two neighbors. We don't know what had transpired. We don't know. We don't know if he tried to talk to her. We don't know. So thank you for saying that.
he could have said some disparaging things.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Liz.
To Miss Foley.
Yes.
Well, she said that he wasn't telling her anything. My answer to that was the fact that you're doing a YouTube tour.
Because a mother called one channel, she's not doing a YouTube tour. She hasn't been on one other channel that I know of talking about her daughter. Maybe she left some comments, but no, she has not done a YouTube. But that would be awesome. If the more the merrier. There's nothing wrong with that. Why wouldn't we want that? It certainly wouldn't bother me. I don't have no I don't own no ownership of Justice for Carlether.
And that you're speaking to everyone about this case, and you're throwing things out there that are not true, the DA is not going to talk to you because you're talking too much.
Well, she doesn't understand that. She doesn't get that part. She just wants some action, and she wants results.
Because she's a mother that wants
absolutely
justice
right, and
for
she
her child.
deserves results. She deserves to know what's going on. She deserves to know why he's not been to trial yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. That's what we want.
But he should be going to trial sometime between now and spring. I mean, a trial date should be given.
Well, a lot of times you won't see a trial date if they have a deal in place and they're just finalizing the deal.
That's probably what it is.
We don't know what it is. We just want a court date. They said he would be getting a court date and to watch the docket. So we want to see the court date on the docket.
But Ms. Foley claims to have a police background.
You know what? That is totally irrelevant. Oops. I done hit the wrong button. Hold on, guys.
Finna have a whole detail for
Wrong video. I got so many videos put up here. Is this it?
I guess in corrections. And you should know. And you should know this isn't a hate crime. You should know better than anyone that exactly what is being done.
Miss Foley wants justice for her daughter.
Is what is supposed to be done. The correct charges have been brought against him.
How do you know?
He's not going to be able to get out of those charges because that's exactly what it was.
How do you know, sir?
An accident.
Wow.
Which an accident in the eyes of the court,
I can't see you.
if someone dies is manslaughter. Well, I just had to bring that up because basically it pissed me off, you know, because when a hate crime does occur and people are so easy to throw the word hate crime around, it makes it that much harder.
Respect. You know what? You do not know what happened. You don't know. You do not know. You don't know. And this is a mother who was called in the middle of the night and told her daughter was gone. And she can do whatever she wants and say whatever she wants. We need justice for Carlether. And guys, the son found his mother deceased in that apartment. The man that did it got up the next day, went to work, and then headed off to a wedding, I believe, allegedly, and never called the police, y'all. If that's not strange, I don't know what is.
Yes, it does. Hate crimes are like, I think the one in Memphis was a hate crime. I do. Doesn't matter if they were black, it's still a hate crime.
His civil liberties were violated.
Yeah, the police officers that took yes, Tyree, we've discussed that too. We're definitely behind that as well.
Violated. Uh, Ahmaud Arbery was a hate crime. Uh, we can go on and on. But in that instance, I don't think that was a hate crime.
But you don't know for sure, Miss Liz. You do not know. We don't know. The thing is, we don't know what happened. But don't you find this? Have you all ever lived in an apartment? You know you can hear. It's like, especially if you're below and someone's on top, you can hear everything. Y'all know it. I'm not making this up. People can hear folks move around. They know when you're in the bathroom. They know when you're in your bedroom. They know. They know. And Max knew.
And yes, they are probably trying to work out a deal. And believe it or not, a lot of times people do not want to go to court. They avoid it like the plague.
And I do believe this may be part of a scam. I do believe that they're saying the correct words, get people excited.
It's the ignorance for me. A scam? Justice for Carlether? How could saying justice for Carlether be a scam, sir? We don't know what happened. I don't care what color you are. If you shoot a god doggone bullet through the wall and you get up and go to work and you don't call 911, you got a problem. Houston, we got a freaking problem. That goes for anybody. I would do this. I wouldn't care what color somebody is. Why didn't you call the police?
You know, like the Republicans got a new word, woke. They say that
Oh,
word. They say that word so they get people excited. Same thing. If you say hate crime, people start taking notice. Hey, posing beauty, thank you. They start taking notice and they start reaching in to help you. If it was just an accident, it's not as, you know, it's not as out there as a hate crime would be. More people will reach in their pockets on a hate crime than they would.
We not asking for no money. Ain't nobody asking for no money. I haven't said cash app dollar sign. I haven't done that not one time. I come on here so many nights and don't get a dime. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not getting ready to go take me some journalism classes because I'm doing this because I truly believe in what I'm doing, and we want justice for Carlether, and we want Ben Crump.
An accidental shooting. That's just my opinion.
And it's my opinion
That's
that
just my opinion.
it could possibly
Here it
be a
is. I
hate
put it
crime.
out there. So, you have anything else on this subject, Liz, before we move on to our main topic?
No, I don't have anything else.
And that was that. Liz didn't have anything else. Guys, look, Miss Jackie called me last year. She was watching a show. It was in the middle of the night, after Tim Norman's show, a Justice for Dre show. That's when, things were really hot and heated. And I mean, it was really, really, 134, it was more like 1,334 back then, okay? But that doesn't matter. My nothing has changed. I'm still just as passionate as I was then, okay? But I don't know. I don't understand the logic of what he was saying because we don't know what happened. We do not know. Miss Foley's not out. Ain't nobody asking for no money. I know I'm not over here begging for no money. And I know she not. She's begging for justice. We begging for justice. Oh, we begging hard. We begging hard for justice for Carlether. And we would love to have Ben Crump take a look at this. And I am not ashamed of what I said to this attorney. And I stand by it. Okay? I stand by every word I said. And the number was dropped to Gwinnett County over there in Duluth, Georgia, to call and ask, can we get a court date? What's the status? Miss Foley said she wants us to call every day. That's the same thing Miss Michelle Griggs did. What if Miss Michelle had just not done anything? It could possibly have been lost in the system. Okay? You just never know. You never know how much power you have, but you have to use it. If you don't do anything, if you don't do anything, then nothing will happen. I don't understand why I'm the only one talking about this case. Everybody, folk watching what I do, they know how many views I have. They know what videos I'm doing. They know what they talk about. Review this video. Review the. Come on. Justice for Carlether. Justice for Carlether. Okay. I'm not going to even go into the other stuff tonight. I'm going to leave it at that. We'll get into the Murdoch jail phone calls and all that stuff tomorrow. Guys, let me see what y'all saying. Let me see what you guys are saying over here. Okay. Kizzy says Z Braze. How you doing, Z Braze? Miss Lorraine. Okay. Imani. I'm late. Is the caller related to the shooter? No, ma'am. Yes, you can. Walls are thin. Walls are thin in apartments. Y'all, trust me, walls are very thin. No scam. Me too, PP Tequila. Can hear a mouse. You sure can. Apartment walls are very thin. You know when someone is in their bedroom, you can, and honey, if you just you can listen to what they're saying. And if anybody want to call in and say anything, call in. Somebody can drop the number, and I'm gonna put this right here real quick. If you want to call in and say something before I get off of here, feel free to call in before I get off. Feel free to call in if you have something that you want to say about Carlether, about what we just reviewed. Okay? Call us. See? I'm asking someone to call. Nobody's calling. That's okay. I don't need nobody to call. I'm still going to keep on doing what I do. I will not yield. Okay? In fact, I think I do want to go ahead and just listen to one. If I can find it. Hold on. Since nobody's calling about that. And that was The Truth's channel, guys, that we just reviewed. Go with it and watch the entire video if you like. Well, we getting a call from Jeff City. We getting a call from Jeff City. Hello, caller. How are you? Oh, hold on. What happened to my call? You got to call 501-542-2514. Well, I had a call and they hung up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me call this number back real quick.
Hi, this is Annette.
Call 501-542-2514. The correct number to call is 501-542-2514. That's the number where everyone will be able to hear you. Well, I had another call to come in too. Hold on, guys. Hold on. You know, I will call y'all back. Hold on. Hello?
How you doing, Senator?
I'm doing just fine.
Why are you so... the case?
Wait. Who is this?
This is Trey. White boy Trey. One and all.
Okay.
Repeat. I can't call in.
No, repeat.
I'm being nice.
Okay, repeat your question again.
I said, why are you saying The Truth 5 doesn't know all the facts of the case when he's reporting on what you put out? So if he don't know all the facts of the case, then you don't know all of them either.
Okay, let me ask you this. No, well, let me say this. The man played with his gun. It went through the wall. He got up the next day, went to work, and then went to a party, never called 911. There is negligence, and we need a court date. We are fighting for justice for Carlether. Okay?
I agree with all of this, but...
No, you don't. I've heard you say you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I'm telling you right now, I agree with all of that. The point of contention that we're having is that you're revealing him because he said that you called it a hate crime. That's where I have to disagree with you. I still agree that I think it was an accident, but I feel like he should be charged. I've always said this.
Okay, you don't know everything. These two are neighbors. There's more to it. I know more than you know. You don't know everything.
So why haven't you reported those facts then?
Maybe some things don't need to be said. That's not unfair.
If you know something that we don't know, then it's kind of like you saying, I know something you don't know, but you ain't putting it out.
You know what? If you truly believed in this case, then you would have reported on it in a very sensible way and a justifiable way.
I tried to, and she told me to stop reporting on it, and I respected her wishes.
Okay.
I knew people that were willing to go to Houston to the drive in the day that she had that were willing to help out, but she told me to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. I remember it very like yesterday. That's not what happened. Okay.
She did tell me to leave it alone. She disagreed with me, saying she thought it was an accident. Me saying it's an accident doesn't mean I don't think he should have been charged.
That is not what happened. I remember how you reported. You were very rude. You were
I was
disrespectful.
rude to you.
You were
I
very
was rude
rude
to
and you were
you, not to her in the
disrespectful.
case. I was very sensitive
You
to
were
the case.
disrespectful to her as well. Yes, you were. And
Well, I was disrespectful to her when she came in my chat.
this lady lost her daughter's life, and the man, we are wanting a court date to be set. We are wanting justice for her daughter. And I don't understand why there's not more people that understand that, and why somebody would have a problem with us even with what I'm doing.
I did talk crazy to her when she came in my chat. But
Right.
again,
Okay.
I agree with you on all of that. I disagree with you saying that it's a hate crime. Why are you saying it's a hate crime? Because when he said it's not, you said, how do you know it's not? So my question to you is, how do you know it's a hate crime?
How do you know it's not a hate crime?
Because this is a kid game. Because they didn't charge him with one. The people that killed Ahmaud Arbery was charged with one. He has been charged with stuff. A hate crime wasn't part of it.
Oh, okay. Well, justice for Carlether. Justice for Carlether. Justice for Carlether. And I'm sure he'll go live and talk about that tomorrow. But anywho, justice for Carlether is what we want. The same way you asked me, how do I know it is? How do you know that it wasn't? Did anyone else want to call in before we get out of here? Did anyone else want to call in before we get out of here? No. Okay, what are y'all saying? I guarantee you this idiot is a registered Republican. The Obama's phone is cutting out. I'm here watching from the clouds. Okay, now someone else had called, but you called the wrong number. Hold on a second. Hold on, guys. Okay, caller. Thank you. What would you like to say?
Yeah, this is very sad. I'm having mixed emotions over here because, first of all, your channel is to help people solve cases, or help mothers speak about their kids, their children being the N-word, and then we have these other content creators coming on there trying to attack you. That's some BS. This is really sad. Instead of them focusing on the case, they're focusing on words and you. That's hate right there in itself. It is very sad. It is very sad. Instead of them picking up the case, trying to call people, trying to report the case itself, because a lot of people don't know, it is very sad and discouraging. But you stick right on in there. Because when you're doing right, the devil don't want you to do right. That's when you start throwing us to the darts. You continue to do what you're doing. I'm going to continue to support you. And the hell with the rest of these people. Now I got to go because I get pissed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. And I know Miss Foley does too. She hung up. Well, you know what? It really don't matter what anybody tries. I'm still going to come on here. And if I have to only talk to two people, I will still come on and say justice for Carlether as long as the Foley family wants me to. Oh, we got a call from. Hello, caller. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm just fine.
Don't get sidetracked. I don't understand the man. You telling him, that you don't. How do you know it's not a hate crime? He's gonna say, how do you know it is? Well, nobody know nothing until it's being investigated. You have a court date, and to find out what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
That's
just
all I was trying
insane.
to say.
It's insane.
That's all
And
I
as
was
far as
trying to
the
say.
apartment building, you hear everything the neighbors say in the apartment building, go to the bathroom, you hear them when they go to the bathroom.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know those walls are thin in apartments. Come on, people. Y'all know
Yes,
they
they
are.
are. Been
They're
apartment
thin in
before.
townhomes, apartment business, condos. You can hear.
Right. And then he just like well, how do you know he was gonna shoot? Only take one bullet. That's all it takes, one bullet to do it.
That's right.
And that's what happened.
I
So
agree.
I don't know what's wrong with people today. I really don't know what.
I think it's more so the problems they have with me versus the case. I think it's me.
Right.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not gonna, as long as Miss Jackie is okay with me, I'm not gonna stop. But it's more so
No, don't
with
get
me
sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. That's what the devil wants. He
But
won't.
anyway.
You want that.
Yes, ma'am. And are you calling from Georgia, right?
No, I have a Georgia. That's my last phone number.
Okay.
I'm in Arizona.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm different.
Well,
all right, Phil.
Thank you
keep
so
your faith
much.
And keep your head up.
Yes, ma'am. I will do that. I appreciate it.
All right, then. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. I wish everyone would start talking about it. I don't want to be the only one talking about justice for Carlether. I mean, I don't. And, to ask me, well, how do I know it was? How do people know it wasn't? We don't know everything. Why did this man do that and then just get up and not even call 911? People should be asking, why didn't he call 911 instead of asking me, how do I know it wasn't? It's not about me. I'm not trying. It's not about me. It's not about me. Regardless of how anyone feels about me, how anyone hates me, if anyone wants to talk about, it's not about me. I'll take the shots. I'll take the hits. But it's not about me. It's justice for Carlether. Did anyone else want to call in on the case? If not, I do want to play one quick. I apologize for misspelling her name. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You live in the town for 6 years and you can hear everything. That man knew their bedrooms was right next door. I don't care what nobody say. I'm standing by that. He knew. Thank you so much. There's the information right there. Call those numbers and say, we just want to know, when is Max going to have his court date? Don't be rude. We're professional. I'm calling on behalf of Justice for Carlether. I'd like to know, has there been a court date set for Maxwell Williamson? That's all we want. Justice for Carlether. That's all. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, if no one, let me see where that video is. Oh, I think I have it pulled up over here. Let me try to find this video that I want to play. Okay. Hold on a second. So we're gonna move on, and we're just gonna listen to this one video. This is a conversation. Mr. Murdaugh, who was just recently found guilty of murdering his wife and his son. This is a conversation of him and his other son that's still living, Buster, from the jailhouse. Okay. People say the darndest things, but this is what was on his mind as he was going on trial for the murdering of his wife and son. Let's listen.
Hello, this is an MTEL operator calling from Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center with a prepaid collect call from
Alec.
To accept this prepaid collect call, press 1. All phone calls are subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using MTEL.
I don't know what we expected Alec Murdaugh's jailhouse phone calls to be like. But after listening to them, we are more certain than ever of Alec's extraordinary ability to manipulate and control those around him, even his own family. My name is Mandy Matney. I've been investigating the Murdoch family for 3 years now. This is the Murdoch Murders Podcast with David Moses and Liz Farrell. This week marks the 3rd anniversary of Mallory Beach's death. Our hearts are with the Beach family, as well as Mallory's friends and everyone who loves and misses her. We are thinking of Morgan, Miley, Connor, and Anthony, who have to relive the worst nights of their lives in the national spotlight over and over again, through no fault of their own. It's important to recognize that none of the victims or their family asked to be in this international news story. We wish all of the victims and their families peace this week and ask anyone who would like to honor Mallory to do so by donating to her charity, Mal's Pals, at malspals.com. That's MALSPALZ.com. All funds go directly to building a new shelter in Hampton County and support local shelters because Mallory loved animals. This week, David, Liz, and I spent hours listening to recordings of some of the phone calls Alec Murdaugh has made to family members since his arrest in October. In January, we filed a Freedom of Information Act request for a number of phone calls that Alec had made from the Richland County Detention Center. Between his arrest last fall and December 9th, Alec made almost 100 phone calls, most of them to his son Buster, his brothers Randy and John Marvin, his sister Lynn, and his sister-in-law Liz. These phone calls have given us a lot of insight into the Murdoch family dynamic and a closer look at Alec's sociopathy, which is beyond anything we could have imagined. The calls were mostly short because inmates at the Richland County Jail are limited to 15 minutes per call. The first phone call is from October 24th, 2021, which is 10 days after SLED arrested Alec while he was in Orlando, Florida, on charges related to the Gloria Satterfield settlement. Remember, he was arrested after allegedly completing more than 30 days of rehab following his so-called suicide for hire incident on September 4th. In this call, Alec is speaking to his 25-year-old son, Buster, who is on Hilton Head Island with his girlfriend, Brooklyn, just after he got home from a trip to Las Vegas with his uncle John Marvin. You probably remember this trip because a photo of Buster gambling was circulated online, which Buster references in this phone call. It's that photo that led victims' attorneys to file an emergency request with the court to freeze Alec and Buster's assets and assign a receiver to comb through their finances.
I have no idea. Hello?
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
I have no idea what.
I was talking to Brooklyn.
Hey, when did y'all tell Brooklyn, congratulations?
Yeah, I did.
Can I speak to her?
Yeah, you can speak to her.
Hello.
Hey, darling.
Hi.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Were you excited to find out?
Yes, sir. I was.
When exactly did you find out? Buster said it was when y'all were in the mountains. I wasn't trying to bother y'all up there because I knew you didn't.
Thank you, UP. I appreciate you for stopping by. I appreciate you for stopping by. I truly do. Woo, you know what? Let me say this real quick. It, the call came in. It was an anonymous call. I didn't know who was calling. And I ain't, I'm not trying to argue with nobody, and nobody was calling nobody names or nothing. We was just talking about the case. And he asked me the question, how do I know it was? Well, how do you know it wasn't, is all I was asking him. And I hope that just wasn't for a soundbite to do reviews and talk, because this woman is truly wanting justice for her daughter. It's not for no theatrics and no playing. And I don't want it to be like that. I truly don't. So you want to talk about me, just talk about me only. Just please don't include Carlether Foley in it. That's all I ask.
Enough service.
That was last Friday, so the October 15th.
Did you know you were going to find out then?
Yes, I did.
So you knew you were going to know when you were going up to the mountains?
Yeah, they told us on Wednesday, I believe, that the scores were getting released on that Friday at 4. So yeah, I knew whenever we were going up there.
You weren't really worried, were you?
Oh, I was a nervous wreck.
I remember so clearly. Well, I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
I know y'all are tired. I know you haven't seen Buster, so I'm not going to keep y'all but a second. I just wanted to make sure he made it home okay.
Oh, yeah, and here, you can talk to him.
All right, I miss you.
I miss you, too, and I love you.
Love you.
Brooklyn, who has dated Buster since 2019, just passed the bar exam, and Alec is congratulating her. You'll notice throughout these phone calls that being a lawyer is something Alec Murdoch absolutely values and identifies with. And later, you'll see that he seems fixated on Buster getting back into law school. According to our sources, Buster was asked to leave USC's School of Law.
Hey, Too Strong, thank you. Hello to everybody. Nick Kerr, everybody that's in here. I truly do appreciate it. But I mean, Too Strong, UP, Loca, I thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
After a cheating scandal. It is clear from this phone call that Alec considers himself to be close with Brooklyn, who offered an unsolicited "I love you" before quickly hopping off the phone and handing it back to Buster.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
What time did y'all get back?
Back to where?
Home.
Like 5 o'clock this morning.
How'd y'all get back at 5 o'clock this morning if y'all left at 10:53 out there? With
time change.
Yeah, I know, but it's 10:53 out there y'all left, right?
No, we left at 9:30.
9:30 out there. So
you left at 9:30. It's a 4-hour flight, so you really land at around 1, and then you traveled through 3 time zones, which adds 3 hours. So we landed at about 4:30.
10-4. Dang, y'all have to be tired.
Yeah, I am tired. I am. Well, it was easier for me because Dave dropped me off in my car, which was in Columbia, and I just went to my apartment and slept for several hours.
Columbia, where did y'all fly into?
Charlotte.
Why'd y'all do that?
It's just that was where the cheapest flight was.
What'd y'all fly on?
Spirit Airlines.
How was that?
It was better than I expected it to be.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I thought, I don't know, I just, it was better than, I just thought it was a real cheap airline, but I mean, it was nicer than I thought it was going to be.
Did y'all have room in your seats?
The seats were all right. But it was, it's just a different, like the seats don't recline because they can fit more. If they don't recline, it's just, it's just different.
So you went 4 hours with no recliner?
I'm sure you guys noticed Alec's knowing little laugh at Buster's economy airlines experience. Sources have always told us that the Murdochs weren't extravagant people, but we do know that they tended to fly private. Alec obviously thinks it's adorable that his heinous crimes have led to his adult son having to slum it.
But yeah, I mean, everyone's fine. Everyone was fine.
So was it a good trip, or just sort of okay?
No, it was a good trip. It was. It's different going to Vegas with young children. But everything was still fun. And then going to Sedona was a good time.
Did you get to gamble any?
Yeah. So I did go gambling, and then the next day there was an article created about how I'm misusing funds.
By gambling?
Yeah, someone took a picture of me and John Marvin in the casino.
You're kidding me. What a fucking... Are you kidding me?
No.
How'd they recognize
No.
you?
Man, I guess, I'm a national figure, I think.
I guess you're going to have to wear a hat and shit when you go places.
So 4 days before this call, our founding editor Will Folks of Fitz News published an exclusive report about Buster and John Marvin's trip to Las Vegas. Less than a day after Alec's bond hearing in Richland County, when Judge Clifton Newman denied Alec bond, John Marvin and Buster were spotted at a blackjack table at the Venetian. It was relevant because at the time, Buster had just been granted power of attorney over his father's assets. Also notice, Alec never apologizes to his son, who is obviously under national media scrutiny because of him. He just tells him to wear a hat while he's in public, which isn't very helpful. Now, I want you to pay attention to the next part. In all of these calls, we notice a pattern with Alec. After he warms up the person he's talking to, he'll start to end the call, but strategically uses the wind down moment to ask his family members to do things for him, right before it's hang up time. The other day, a man who knew the Murdoch family for decades told me that Alec had a real talent for getting people to do things for him, which explains how he was able to get away with what he did for so many years. Anyway, this part coming up, I want you to listen carefully.
Where are you going to be tomorrow?
Be here.
Hey, please stay on John Marvin's ass to see about that stuff from Mark Ball and any of those other funds to put on that thing.
Being taken care of in the morning.
So Mark's going to do it?
Yep, they're writing the check in the morning. The check will be ready at 8:30. John sends someone to pick it up and then simultaneously running it over to Palmetto State to apply it. And I'm driving to Charleston in the morning to pick up the check for the bank.
They're going to apply that too?
Correct.
I mean, I don't see how they bust when everything's being applied to the bank.
Yeah,
10-4.
So all that'll be done by lunch tomorrow.
That makes me feel better. So it'll be $350. How much has been put on it so far?
Dad, I don't have an exact figure. A couple tens of thousands maybe. Just selling pieces of equipment.
All right. Well, I love you, and
Well, this call turned out to be a real who's who of Alec's money-moving shenanigans. First, you remember our friend Mark Ball, right? He was directly involved in the old jellyfish gambit, and he was also Alec's colleague at PMPED. Seems like just a few days after attorneys called for Alec's finances to be frozen and handed over to a receivership, that Mark Ball was cutting Alec a check. This check was so critical to Alec that Buster is told to stay on John Marvin about it. But he doesn't have to do that because John Marvin has already arranged for somebody to go get the check and run it over to Palmetto State Bank to apply it to something. We don't know what it is, but anyone who knows simple math is aware that Mark Ball plus Palmetto State Bank plus a quickly cut check divided by Alec equals, I hope Sled is listening to this. Anyway, Buster asks his dad about his court proceedings.
Before they end the phone call, Alec and Buster chat about sports scores, and we get why that's so important to him in a later phone call. We'll be right back. Fraud and money laundering. The next call happened on November 30th, the week after Thanksgiving. Alec Murdoch called Buster, who just got back from a fishing trip somewhere off the coast of South Carolina. The two start with a little routine father-son talk.
Hey, bud.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm in Brooklyn's condo.
I get one in a minute. Oh, yeah? You
Yep.
stayed there last night?
I did.
Well, good. How's she doing?
She's good.
Did she have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Well, good. Tell me about the fishing trip.
It was good.
How many did y'all catch?
Caught a sailfish and a couple tuna.
Blackfin?
Yeah.
No wahoo?
No wahoo.
But, I mean, when you're fishing on a boat like that, it don't, I mean, even if you ain't catching nothing, you're doing pretty good, ain't you?
They go back and forth about the fishing trip for a few. Buster seems a little short with his father and starts to sound annoyed as Alec turns the conversation to Buster making arrangements to re-enroll in law school in January.
Hey, Bus, not trying to bug you, babe, but you got to get that thing reset with law school.
I sent an email to Hubbard this morning.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. Everything else okay?
Yeah. What have you been doing? I haven't talked to you since Thursday.
No, you talked to me Friday.
I did?
Yeah, I thought you did when you got back. No, that's right, because it was Thursday afternoon. We were on lockdown Friday.
Alec then starts asking Buster about his financial situation. This call is one that later gets referenced by prosecutor Creighton Waters during Alec's bond reconsideration hearing as evidence that Alec hasn't stopped his...
Okay, y'all, we're going to stop right there at the 15:29 mark. This is almost an hour long video, but we're going to listen to all these calls. We're going to resume it tomorrow. I want to thank everyone for coming in tonight. I do appreciate it. You know, we just want justice for Carlether. I mean, this means a lot to me. I truly want justice for Carlether. And I just want to say, Money Boy, please don't use that clip. And if you want to dog me out, fine. Don't talk about Miss Jackie Foley or her daughter in that. If you do a review, just don't do that. She is truly mourning the loss of her daughter, as well as her grandson mourning the loss of his mother that he found deceased. If you want to dog me out, fine, I can take it. Just don't do that to them. That's all I ask. You know, this phone rings and number says unknown caller. I don't know who's calling, so I just answered the phone. I didn't know who it was. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna get off of here. You guys have a good night. Thank you for supporting me. Justice for Carlether is what we want. Thank you to UP and Too Strong for the most of them for stopping in here tonight, along with all of you, Miss Alice, Annie, Kizzy, everybody, Miss Julia, all of y'all. Okay, Miss Fab Books, the countdown. Okay, everybody, Miss Lorraine. And Miss Lorraine, thank you for the Cash App, honey. I got the Cash App. You know I want to thank you, girl. I want to thank you. Justice is slow, but it is certain. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, you never know how you're going to react. I was on that phone and I didn't know. I was caught off guard. I was caught off guard. I didn't know. I was caught off guard. Wow. It is what it is. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Hey, PP. Hey, girl. Hey. Too strong for the most of them. Okay. Oh, my goodness. I was caught off guard. I wasn't ready for that one. Oh, okay. Just please don't mention Carlether Foley name in no review or nothing. Don't do that. This mother is truly mourning the loss of her daughter. That's all I ask. Do what you got to do to me. Leave the family out of it. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. See y'all tomorrow. Lord bless, nothing happened, and the creek don't rise. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and play this as we leave. I'm going to play this. You know I got to play this. Okay? The same way we got justice for Dre, we're going to get justice for Carlether. Yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to get it.
It's been a long, long time, honey, but I know, yeah. Store. Everybody ain't your friend, everybody ain't your partner. I say I got you. Well, just hold it down and keep it solid. And when you're not around, I protect your name, I won't talk about you. Everybody ain't your friend.